Look at this. Alright, let's see if I can adjust this because I just had to reset my camera here. Super cool. Super cool, fun times. And that looks about dead center. Alright, perfect. See if this thing is streaming here. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Looks like it's working. Alright, sweet. Alright, I'm just going to do this for a little bit tonight. It's been a little bit of a crazy day here. Get my controller started up. Alright, plug this thing in. Turn it on. Then you got to plug in the USB next. This is the Radio Master Pocket. And then it says joystick, and you hit. Don't mind. Turn it. Hit it. Did I turn it? I turned it. Damn. Come on, back to the top. USB joystick, and you hit. Alright, click the little button, and then now have joystick connected. So, we should be in business here. Alright, let's see. We are going to our scene. We're going to just fly around aimlessly for a little bit tonight. Let's see. Single player. Continue. Look at this. Yeah, probably where Bonner's Bando theme park. I feel like there's new ones every time I come on here. Let's see what this one is. See how this thing pops. Oh my gosh, look at this craziness. Hopefully it's fun. Okay, go full screen. Come on, there we go. Alrighty, and we're flying. Oh, look at that. It was already underwater. It didn't even let me take off. That was weird. So I think I did look at this one before. This is pretty cool. So this week's been a little crazy, which is why my streaming schedule has been a little bit off. I did an episode of Corridor Crew Digital, which hopefully will be out in the next few weeks, and basically filled up a ton of work for me. Sorry, I have headphones on here, and I'm hearing myself on the live stream from my phone, which is a little crazy. Yeah, did a project with Corridor Crew, which is super fun. These guys are really, really, really fun to hang out with. I've watched their shows for a long time, and I always figured I'd probably get along with them, and I do. They're very cool guys. So that was pretty neat. So yeah, Corridor Crew was great. Then we shot on Friday. We put the project together Thursday at the studio, which if you've ever seen VFX artists react, we were shooting in the exact same space where they shoot VFX artists react, and that was really neat. I like that show. I get more, I don't know, nerded out over YouTubers that I like than like proper big name celebrities. I think it's cool to see those people in person, but something about like people on YouTube that I choose to follow and then I get to meet them is very cool. So yeah, it was neat. Their studio is really cool. They've got, it's like this giant green screen and a really nice area to work. It's like a dream kind of setup, honestly. It's got a big loft, and they're up there playing video games all day. It was really cool. Alright, how am I going to do this? We're going to go into the hangar. Oh, look at this. The hangar's got some flashy stuff. It's like tanks and stuff going on down here. This level's got tons of weird stuff happening. And it's pretty good. And then this morning got news that a good friend of mine died. So today is a little bit off because of that. And my friend is Sam Macaroni, and he has filmed tons of stuff. And he got me some of my first work in California before we even moved out here. He flew me out from Florida to be C-3PO in his like Disney Star Wars spoof called what they call it, Return of the Empire or something like that, and it was basically kind of like a parody showing all the stuff that Disney was going to do with the Star Wars properties. So they integrated a bunch of other Disney characters into Star Wars universe. And this was, we shot this in 2013. So it's like right after Lucasfilm was purchased by Disney, and he needed a C-3PO. So he found me online and then contacted me in Florida and flew me out to be C-3PO for his shoot. And that was pretty cool. And at the time, I had just been to LA for the very first time, maybe 2 weeks before that. And then suddenly I'm going back to LA again. It was kind of cool because I really liked it here, and to get to go back right away was awesome. And then I worked with him on this RoboCop spoof, which was cool because I got to sculpt the RoboCop helmet for his costume, and I'm very proud of it. It came out very good. And in the process of doing that, he was having the costume painted by Studio ADI, who did they've done tons of films, but they did like Starship Troopers and like all the Aliens versus Predator movies, plus tons of other stuff too. But they did the RoboCop suit. They painted it there, and so when I was in the process of making the helmet, I got to go out there and work on some of their machines and meet all those guys for the first time. And then later I've ended up working with them on several occasions since then because they knew me through Sam, which was really cool. And my friend Michael McMaster, who is one of my closest friends, we hang out a lot, done tons of stuff. McMaster's taken me on lots of adventures and included me on lots of cool projects, including building the RX-24 droids for Skeleton Crew. Well, we technically built them for Book of Boba Fett, but they were on Skeleton Crew. And the first time I really hung out with Michael McMaster was on that shoot, because he brought out Michael McMaster to bring his Wally and R2. And when I say that shoot, I mean the Star Wars one, the first one I came out here for. And then another time, Sam was in really good with the Disney people, and he got to go to Disney World in Florida and film all kinds of stuff in Hollywood Studios before the park opened, like on the property, which is just something that I don't know how he pulled that off, but it was amazing. And he was going to film the scene on the Star Wars Stunt Spectacular idol theft portion of the show, where the stunt performer will take the idol and then the big boulder comes, and they filmed that there. But I made a little C-3PO idol, so it's supposed to be the Indiana Jones character, and then the idol is C-3PO. And I sculpted that little guy and cast him, and then I painted him up all metal, and it got used in that, which is another crazy thing that Disney did, which I'm amazed that he was able to get away with what he did. I mean, they literally invited him there to shoot the stuff, so that was really cool. And then the RoboCop thing he did, the RoboCop suit that he had and the helmet I made ended up on an episode of Rap Battles of History with RoboCop versus Terminator, I think is the one. And so if you see that episode, that RoboCop helmet I made, I'm very proud of it. And then he used it for an episode called RoboCop Mall Cop, and it was basically like if RoboCop became mall security, and he's like rides around on a Segway and stuff. It was really funny. And Preston Lacey from Jackass was there because Sam knows all the Jackass guys really, really well. And then he hired me to do some Marvel spoofs. Like he did all these different Marvel characters, and I had a War Machine costume. So it's like oh, let's do War Machine at the Office. He did all these like Hulk at the Office and War Machine at the Office, all these different Marvel characters at the Office. And the one I did with him was like one of the first ones. Super fun. Anyway, he's included me on lots of stuff, and he's included me on a bunch of other things since then. And it was really kind of a sad day to find out that he passed away, which is not fun. And I don't know if my freaking chat is working. Hang on a second. Let me see something. If you guys are chatting with me, I'm sorry, but I cannot see anything. Let me try again. Sorry, YouTube. Oh, my YouTube quit. Maybe you guys have been writing me stuff and I didn't know. I'm sorry if I haven't responded to anything. Let me pop in here and see. Oh my God, there's a whole bunch of chat. Sorry about that, guys. Cool math this time. Yes, it is. Sorry, the chat wasn't popping up for me before for whatever reason. So, like that poor guy in the video that's over the net. Poor guy. Oh, like, yeah, if there was like the with all those FPV drones with the munitions attached to them, that shit's scary. I actually think that one of these simulators has that as an actual option that you can play, like war simulation, drone simulation, which is kind of crazy. But this board is really cool. There's a lot of stuff to do here. This dynamic poly world that I've been exploring, it feels like every time I come on there's a few more of them, and they're all different. So I got to figure out how to design these boards. I actually don't know if a board I design would be as good as the ones that other people are doing, but it might be worth a shot. I mean, look at this whole area. I didn't even see this yet. Oh, look at that craziness. So also, I was talking about all my drone stuff, and I was saying how my first drone was a Storm Drone 6. That drone was given to me by Sam Macaroni, who's my friend that passed away. That's the same guy I'm talking about right now. He gave me a Storm Drone 6. Yeah, he's a good dude, and he had been plotting to do a horror film, and I was going to be the, like the creature in it, and it was kind of like he almost got it into production like a year and a half ago, or maybe less than that, maybe a year ago, and then he got the job at Lionsgate doing something, and he had to kind of put it on hold, which is unfortunate for me, but was good for him. So I don't know what the heck the deal was, but yeah, anyway, the whole day has just been kind of like a little bit weird, floaty thing. And then we watched the Oscars, and then I'm just pretty shocked at some of the choices for whatever reason. I feel like the Oscars are, you're not allowed to pick the actual good movies, and you got to pick the one that's more artsy, even though it's really not that great. I'm like, is this really an Oscar contender for Best Picture? Best Picture is this movie, and not Dune or Wicked, which are like, both those movies, will like them or not, are undeniably impressive. And to be like, this other movie that looks like it was shot on an iPhone got Best Picture, blows my mind. Weaponize our toys, then make them illegal to play with there. I know. That whole thing bothers me to death. Speaking of that, it's really like the same people who are like super, no guns, we don't want guns, and then they'll like spend billions of dollars to send weapons to other countries. I'm like, what are you doing? But that's crazy. Do you see the hypocrisy there at all? I think whatever excuses they make, I just don't think they're viable. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I watched part of the Oscars. I didn't watch the whole thing. I guess the guy that I know won something for, I'm guessing Alien Romulus, but I don't know for sure. He posted a photo with an Oscar, and I was like, oh, he got one. What the hell's his name? I worked with him on another film in the model department. And So that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Most boring Oscars in years. Oh my god, it's so boring. So boring. And the movies that they picked were just shockingly not the choice I would expect. Oh, look at these lasers everywhere. Yeah, the Oscars was me. And what else? Oh, can I get this one? I feel like I'm getting better at getting these like tighter turns here. Look at this nonsense. I mean, I've been kind of making around the board as I chatter, which is pretty good, but I probably am speaking too soon, so if you saw me flying these things a month or two ago, I could not do any of this stuff. It was so hard to do. And I'm trying to get hopefully a little bit more creative with my lines. Oh my god, it didn't crash. There we go. I'm trying to think what else we saw. What did we watch the other day? I watched the Conclave yesterday. That was pretty good. Ray Fiennes is awesome. And basically all the actors in that movie were really good. It's pretty good. You don't know what's gonna happen. Keep a little bit of suspense, but yeah, I won't spoil anything. But it was decent. It's decent. We've gotten a lot better. Thank you very much. Also, today's news is Bryce Dallas Howard's birthday is today, she's super nice. And I was gonna make a post, but I kind of felt weird about it after posting about my friend. I'm like, do I then immediately follow it up with a happy birthday post? I don't know. I might do it anyway. I feel like my friend Sam wouldn't want us like feeling shitty all day over him like this. So anyway, yeah, that's that. And then back to the corridor crew thing. They posted some pictures online, so I can't spoil exactly what they're doing, but I will tell you because they posted pictures of it that I made a big 3D printed mold, and I did it in like breakneck speed. I don't remember the last day I was on. It was I worked on it a bit, and I don't remember what day I was on last Friday. I've been trying to do, up until the last week, I was trying to do every other day, but the last week got busy, so it kind of messed up my practice schedule. So I got a scan, and then I had to do a cleanup and do all these mods and then make a big mold and 3D print it. I got the scan Monday night, and I had the molds and all the stuff all done and off the printer by Thursday morning. So I felt pretty proud of myself about how much I accomplished. And the molds are big. I printed them super, super low res, and they came out surprisingly good. The end result did. And yeah, the corridor crew guys are awesome. They're just like the guy Jordan Allen does all the effects stuff. It's weird when you watch somebody so long online, and then when you see him in person, it's like you feel like you just know him already. So it's like almost like a comfort level there. So those guys were fun. I could just say whatever jokes to them, and that they just didn't get offended at all, and they joked back the same way, and felt like I'd been friends with them for a long time, even though they didn't know me at all. And my friend Eric brought me in, and Eric used to do a show on YouTube called Backyard Effects Indie Mobile, and I've been friends with him since 2016, so 9 years, I guess, about almost 9 years. And I worked with him building these Lego kits. I think it's called Beyond the Build, and it's on the Lego YouTube channel. And we would just they would get the kits, and we would get Lego kits before they came out in the stores. It was kind of awesome. And then we'd build them out, and they'd give us like 3 kits of each one. We build one as instructed, and then we would take the other kits and make something creative with the parts. And we could use other Lego kits. We could, as long as it was Legos, we could use like Lego Technics and all those ones with the motors, and whatever Lego kit we wanted we could use in the Beyond the Build to make a custom thing. So right when we did that, it was when Rogue One was coming out, and they had Krennic's ship, his like whatever that's called, his transport ship, and I basically made a version that was all automated. It had motors so the wings could like retract and stuff automatically, and then we made it so that it could drive across a like a rope. So you could hang a rope from the ceiling, and the little motors would like fly it along. It was really cool, and it worked great all the times we tested it. And then when we had to film it, like they rented a soundstage to film this thing, like, you know, pretty legit. He had a budget, and it didn't work right, so we had to like make some last minute modifications on set. And then I built a giant trebuchet off of this like Spider-Man kit. It was like a Spider-Man bridge. It was really cool, and it was like all automated, so you could basically hit the button, and if I remember correctly, it would reset the trebuchet, and then hit a point, and it would like launch the figure, and it could shoot the Spider-Man figure really far. I'm sure it's still on the page, and it's funny because I'm not in the videos, but I'm doubling for Eric's hands on a lot of them, because basically Eric's the host, and we time-lapse the build, so we had like the camera looking down, and you can see our hands building the stuff. And the time-lapse is, you know, a lot of those time-lapses on those episodes are you're seeing my hands doing the work. That's really fun. But anyway, yeah, Eric brought me in on this corridor crew thing, and it was very neat. Also, the time I got to go to South Korea to be in the focus group for Samsung's Star Wars vacuum cleaners that look like kind of like a Roomba. That's because of Eric too, because Eric recommended me as a Star Wars fan to this company that he worked with, and they brought me in. And after we met with Samsung, the people of Samsung were like, "We want to take you to Korea to meet our engineers," and I got to go to Korea because of that, because of Eric. It was pretty cool. He's a very nice guy, very talented, and he was the puppeteer for the Chucky show, the Child's Play, little Chucky puppet for like however many seasons that show was on for, which is really neat. So he got to go to Canada and film all that stuff. And he worked at K&B Effects. They've done tons of stuff. But yeah, anyway, worked with him for the corridor crew thing. Super cool guy, real talented, very fun. I've been a fan of his for a long time, so it's weird that he's my friend now. I did a puppeteering gig with him too, like in December or November, and might have actually been, when was that? I can't remember if I got back from New York. I think it was in November. No, it was before. It was right before I went to New York. I built this DJ deck with Stupid Buddy Studios, and right before I was going to New York, I did one day, then went to New York, and I came back and I filmed some more days on this puppeteering gig, and it was pretty fun. So it's pretty good. Oh my gosh. Alright. Can I get through here? Nope. Oh my god. Crashed it out. Finally. Is my thing still working? It is. So, anyway. So yeah, weird day. And my transmitter battery's low. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It keeps... Oh, I didn't make it through the window. Okay, let's try again. We're going to go for that. We're going to go for that little hole in the window. Right. Oh, I made it. Kind of. It didn't feel like I made it, but I did. Can I make it back this way too? Oh, Oh, nope. Nope. I can't do it. Yeah, but today it's funny because it's only 8:30 here and it feels like it's midnight. Today's felt very, very, very long. And it rained here a little bit today, which is super weird. And then also I tried to pick up my shyest cat and she panicked and scratched the living bejesus out of me and bit me because she doesn't like to be picked up. And she like panicked and freaked out. And I feel bad now. Now she's going to be scared of me for the next 2 months. It's going to take me a lot of practice to try to get her to calm down. I don't know why she's so scared. They were feral cats, so they're all a little like not the best about being picked up. One of them is pretty good. The other two, don't like it very much, and I don't know why. Oh, look at that. I made it right through. Oh my god. Ugh. So anyway, hopefully this corridor crew thing pays real soon, and maybe it'll be good. We'll see. And then what other projects? Got a couple other things coming up. Potentially, I get a bunch of quotes this weekend for another project, and I have no idea. So it's like a huge client, but they also are like, we don't have money for a thing, and that you never know what they mean by that. Is it like, do they want it like insanely cheap, or do they want it like cheap for their prices? It's hard to tell. So I gotta just figure it out and figure out what it's gonna take me to make all these things and quote them. I hope they hire me because I don't think they're gonna get anybody else to do the same things I can do. So it just depends on what they need. It should be good. Now, yeah, my transmitter's yelling at me. Transmitter battery though. Let's look at these planes real quick. What do we have here? It looks like an F-15. F-15. Some kind of giant bomber plane. Oh no, that's not an F-15. That is a... what is that? It's not a MiG. It's a... can't remember what those are. The stars. They got the little secondary wings. This is an F-15, I think. Don't know. Don't know my planes. This freaking World of Warcraft looking statue right there. There are so many obstacles on this one that are so cool. Jeez. Alright, here we go. Flying again. Now, so yeah. So anyway, that's been my freaking week. What else do they have at Corridor Digital? They have like a huge wall of fake guns there for doing, you know, whatever their shows are, and that is really fun. A lot of them are very, very realistic, like the kind that you'd probably get put to sleep forever by a cop if you had that thing in your car or something. And, oh, and then what else do we do? Go to a fitting this week. The V Neil is the makeup artist that did like Beetlejuice and Lost Boys and just tons and tons of stuff. Is having some kind of like monster convention in Burbank somewhere, and I'm getting I'm modeling for a makeup on the week from tomorrow. Week from today. No, 2 weeks from today. Sorry. Week from today is my birthday, which is crazy. Then I'll be old. It'll be old. Can I land on this thing? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, sorry if I'm only got a bit of a fart mood today. I hope all that stuff kind of, with my friend, explains it. Another thing too is like a few months ago I lent him a ton of cool stuff for his office, and I am like, am I gonna ever see that stuff again? Because it was just on loan, because like some of it actually is, it's technically mine, but I had planned on just giving it to certain people, and there's people that wanted to buy certain things, and I just had it. I was like, yeah, I'll lend it to my friend until they're ready, and now maybe I won't have any more. We'll see. So I don't even know how to approach that. It feels like tacky as hell to go ask, but also I feel like I need to speak to someone soon, because it's at his office, and the office belongs to someone else, so it's like a big company, and I don't know what they're gonna do. So anyway, hopefully somebody doesn't like go in there and loot all his stuff. But yeah, I was like, he was always fun to work with, and anytime he called, I knew something was fun was being planned. Whether it happened or not was another story, but it was always like a good time. The dude was super positive and really, really, really productive. And I met like a bunch of do I have emails? I have no idea who to talk to. It's I might call them tomorrow, the company, and just say, hey, this happened. I had stuff in that office, like, you know, who's taking care of that stuff so I can get my stuff back. But yeah, we'll see what happens over there. Yeah, he was always doing something cool, super productive. I met, he was super good friends with Steve-O from Jackass, and so I got to hang out with Steve-O a few times because of Stam. And Pauly Shore, I met Pauly Shore because of him. And he shot this movie called Guest House. He was the director. I was like, Pauly Shore, and Lauren Lapkus's husband, whose name I can't remember, was like the guy in the film. And they basically rent this house, and there's this stipulation. I think they buy the house. There's a stipulation where in the contract where this guy that lived in like the guest house in the back gets to stay there or something until he dies or whatever. So there's some stipulation with owning the house that this guy is going to be there, and it's Pauly Shore. And my friend directed it. He may have written it too. I have to go check and see. But yeah, so I got to meet Pauly Shore through him. That was interesting. And some of the other Jackass guys, Preston Lacey, and who else did I meet? Somebody else from Jackass. But those are like good friends of his. So that was weird. Weird to go hang out someplace and then film Steve-O doing a stunt and use like Steve-O like, here, hold my camera. Can you get the shot like this? And now you're shooting video for Steve-O. I'm actually kind of curious as to if they even know this yet or not. I found out today, and I called a bunch of people, or texted a bunch of people. I ended up talking on the phone to some of them, but I texted mutual friends like, hey, just so you know. And it was, yeah, it's crazy. Steve-O really cleaned himself up. Yeah. He's like, it's funny because, you know, he comes off, he's, you know, kind of crazy and does all those things, but when it comes to like taking the videos and stuff, I've been there when he's been like set on fire and thrown off roofs and crashing through doors and doing stuff on a skateboard. Like, he did a stunt on a skateboard where he got hurt really bad, and like 2 months before it he did a really, really similar stunt, and I think he was like actually just trying to up the stakes. And I was there when he filmed the first one, and he really actually cares a lot and knows a lot about how to get the camera set up for doing stunts and how to make sure you capture everything and it looks right. And he was concerned with like making sure that there's good lighting on it. So even though the stunts were just happening outside, it's pretty thought out with how the where the cameras are going to be and making sure that there's enough coverage. Because if you get hurt doing something, and at least you could have it on camera, you know, if you shoot it right if you prep enough. But yeah, it was crazy. We were looking at those shots of him jumping over a car on a skateboard, and he's like, how does this look if I this one versus this one, just asking me. He doesn't know me at all. It's like what my opinion is of how the shots are. It was kind of like, oh, this is Steve-O here asking me a question. But he was real nice. He was in that movie Guest House as well, but I met him before that. I met him in like 2014, early 2015, something like that. But met him through Sam. What else did Sam do? I mean, if you look up Sam Macaroni on IMDb, you can see all the crazy stuff he worked on. He's worked on tons of short films, lots of commercials. He worked for a VR company for a long time, and then he was doing all kinds of weird shit with Lionsgate that I don't know. I shouldn't talk about it. I'm not technically under his NDA, but he trusted me enough to tell me, so I don't want to say anything. Alright, where's Fun to Fly here? I might check out one more level here. Let's go change track and see. We were in this one, Bandit Theme Park 1. Let's go check this one out. Oh boy. So, whoa, whoops. Oh, it just happened. It's like glitched out. Oh, there it goes. That was weird. That's what's weird. Look at this. Got a big old dragon head, like Harry Potter. Oops, crashed immediately. It's funny how it starts you at one place when you start the game, and then the second you go anywhere else, oh, outside a map. The second you go anywhere else, it's like, nope. You crash when you restart. You're in a different area. All right, this place has a decent amount of stuff. Look at all these things. I guess it's supposed to be like an old roller coaster track. You can practice flying along the track. See, I like stuff like this where it gives you like some incentive to practice. Oh, look, it's got a car on it too, a roller coaster car. See, stuff like this is good because I can practice my maneuvering, following an object. Is it gonna make it? It just made it right across that gap, no problem. I think my drone is just set up a little bit too fast. Alright. And helicopters for some reason. Tanks. At the abandoned amusement park. Alright, so they got a little roller coaster. What else is over here? He refused to do a Bill Maher interview because Bill smokes weed. And Steve-O. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it's and it's tricky because apparently it's really, I think like Bill Maher is sort of like pushy about it, like come on, just have it, like it's not a big deal. But if you've got problems, then it's probably not the best thing. It's crazy because one of the things that I filmed with him was basically a no smoking PSA, and then like right after they filmed it, he started smoking again, and they didn't put it out. But then he ended up releasing it later on his own page. But they'd done a whole thing that set him on fire. I have some really, really, really good photos of Steve-O breathing fire, like behind the scenes, like him just messing around with his friends, and they were doing like fire breathing stuff. It was really cool. But he did got caught. They set him on fire. Then he crashed through a door, and then they throw him off a roof in a garbage can. And it was a pretty fun shoot. Just get someone who's just willing to do all this crazy stuff. But yeah, he's cool. And then what was the other thing? Oh my gosh! So if you've seen on my Facebook page, there's been a couple times when I've had this picture on my profile image, and it's me in a DeLorean time machine at Marty McFly's house, like at the edge of the driveway in the DeLorean time machine. And that's something Sam Macaroni set up. He was trying to do, when he was working for the VR company, he was going to do these like VR film experiences where he was going to go to all the locations where they shot stuff with like these. At the time, the 360 cameras were really expensive because it was like a whole array of GoPros around this ball, and then it like stitched them all together just perfectly. It was a very expensive setup, and they would take that, go to the scene, film a thing, but then when you had VR headsets, you could look around and see everything like you're there. So they basically did the shot where the DeLorean leaves the house, Marty McFly's house, and drives down that same street, which looks the same with the trees and everything, like it did in the film. And it takes off through the trees, and I basically did the drone shots. Look at me flying a drone right now, talking about, I forgot about this, but I did drone shots of the DeLorean, following it behind basically following the DeLorean down the street. And they worked okay, but I was using my Phantom 4 for that, and it has collision detection, and when it would go through the shadows of the trees, even though it wasn't gonna hit anything, there was nothing around, sometimes it would just stop, it tricked the sensor into thinking it was about to crash. So I'd be like following the DeLorean, getting a really great shot, and all of a sudden my drone would just stop, and there was nothing, to collide with, but it would just freak out anyway. But yeah, Sam had me do drone shots for that. That was pretty cool. So that's where that picture originated from. That was a Sam Macaroni thing. And what else? Some other crazy stuff he's brought me into. The RoboCop one was crazy because we shot at a mall. Basically, there's this mall that was after hours on like a Sunday. We got there like right when the mall closed, and we stayed there really late at night filming in the mall. And that was pretty cool. I feel bad for Paulie. He gets bad rap. Yeah, he's funny, man. He's legitimately funny. Like in person, he's a funny dude. And he just does not give a shit. Like he'll say whatever, and I think it's just like the comedic thing to do is just speak your mind no matter the cost. And he says he was very funny. And he's a pretty nice dude. He's pretty nice. I didn't talk to him a ton because I was a little bit like, oh my god, it's Pauly Shore. I'd seen him one other time years ago in Tampa when I was working in Ybor City. I went to go to get lunch, and he was sitting in front of this place eating food or something, or getting a coffee. And I was like, oh, Pauly Shore's right there. And I think he was performing at the comedy club that was in Ybor City, and just happened to be down there. But I didn't talk to him about that. But the time when I met him, we did this gag. They'd filmed this prank, and it was basically, oh my god, what's his name? Some YouTuber guys Ed Bassmaster. Have you ever seen him? He like dresses in these ridiculous clothes and asks people weird questions and stuff. But he's got a huge YouTube channel, and he was there. A bunch of people from the cast of the Guest House movie were over. It's kind of like a rap party, and in the movie there's this possum that takes some kind of drugs, and it freaks out, and it causes havoc at this lunch. And they had the possum puppet, and myself and David Woodruff, who's like a special effects guy that I know, is a friend of mine, whose dad played Pumpkinhead in the Pumpkinhead movie. He's also played the xenomorph alien in like Aliens 3 and Alien versus Predator and all those films, and a ton of other stuff too. He's been in a bunch of things. But if you've seen Pumpkinhead, his dad was Pumpkinhead. Anyway, he and I were in charge of doing the prank, and we had the possum puppet that was made by ADI at this house. And my friend rented this crazy huge house in Hollywood Hills and had this like the party there. And whenever people would show up at the door, when they rang the doorbell, we would smash this puppet through the door. The fentanyl freaking possum or whatever it was, and they'd rigged the door so it had like these really thin balsa panels, and it had like filler in there so like debris would go everywhere, and they would film it. So every time one of the cast people would get to the house, we'd like bust this puppet through the door, and David Woodruff would like, he had his hand in the puppet, but I would like work the puppet's mouth and stuff because there was like these controls that make it blink and like, you know, make it, his eyes move and all kinds of stuff. So so I was in charge of that part. And that was pretty fun. And that's on the internet somewhere too. Guest house, after party prank or something. Find it somewhere. And they had a big ass, like this big air cannon right behind the door. So when we went, when blood busted the thing through it, like blew out a whole bunch of debris. It's actually probably pretty dangerous for eye safety, but nobody seemed to care. That was really fun. And then that house, Sam had rented it to film something, but he ended up renting it for like months, and he lived in it. But it was like a filming house, and he just basically lived in that house. And it was this big, really cool house, and it was by, if you've been to LA, you've ever been to Runyon Canyon, you can see it from Runyon Canyon. Like, you can see the backyard. It's kind of like on the hill across the, like right across, when you're in section Runyon, there's like a little, you know, little ravine, and then on the other side there's houses, and it's right across over there. And it's a cool house, has a big turret in the front. You can go up into the turret, like these stairs, and go up there, and it's like a glass thing in the middle of the floor, and you can look down into the entryway. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so anyway, that whole thing is sad. My brain hasn't quite processed it yet. So that's just how it goes, I guess. That's how life is. It goes and it stops. And he was 49. He basically had the same problem that my friend Grant Imahara had, where he also passed away at 49. And on essentially the same issue. And I'm going to be 49 in a week. So who knows? Who knows what the deal is? Oh my god. Alright. Let's see. I've been on here for almost an hour. I'm going to go for about 10 more minutes. And then I'm going to call it, because I am feeling low energy. Particularly low energy today. And I don't know if I just need to chill out or what. But like, I'm going to come on and see what I can do. Keep my fingers all practiced up here with the with this drone skills, which I feel like I'm doing okay tonight considering everything, since I've had a few days off. As soon as I say I'm doing alright, I crash. It's awesome. It's so awesome. I've got to do some Patreon stuff in the next couple days. I got some more stuff I want to put up there, but it's been busy, so I haven't had a chance to work on it. I cleaned out my computer today. Super exciting, because when I was doing ZBrush for Corridor Crew, ZBrush started really lagging for some reason, and it turned out my hard drive was almost full, and I was having trouble saving the history files, which are gigantic. Oh, hold on a second. One guy I'd love to meet is Titus Welbert. Oh yeah, he seems like really cool. Gave him a set of Han Solo. Oh, let me see this thing here. Oh, you gave him a set of Han Solo dice? I got a set of Han Solo dice at the... We went to the premiere, actually. It's the only one of the Star Wars movie premieres that I had a chance to go to. And they gave out like these little goodie things, and one of the things they gave us was a set of the dice from the Falcon. Through an actress on a show. That's freaking cool. Is he like a big Star Wars guy? I didn't know. Yeah, he's a big Star Wars collector. I had no idea. That's pretty cool. I always like wonder what these people. It's funny when you meet people in person and they have like weird hobbies or things like that you can totally relate to. You're like, oh yeah, you get on, get on topics with them. It's pretty fun. Oops, crashed it. Run Blue gave them to him. She was the voice. Tower load computer on Rogue One. No kidding. I did not know that. I don't know her well. I've met her before. She is friends with, like, we got mutual friends, but I knew she did that kind of stuff, but I had no idea she was the voice for that. That's so crazy. Rogue One is awesome. I'm kind of like really actually looking forward to the new Andor. I finally got to see the trailer, but I only watched it once, so I didn't do like a deep dive in the frame by frame stuff, which I typically do. Maybe I'll do that when I get out of here. I'll go check that out again and go slow-mo and look at it, as consistently as possible, or as thoroughly as possible, I should say. I like doing the frame by frame. I see all kinds of cool stuff. But sometimes there's like spoilers, like when they did the Skeleton Crew, like the trailers for it, there's like a shot where Jod has a lightsaber on his belt, and then you're like, oh, well, if you see that, it's going to give you some kind of spoiler, because if you're watching the show, you know that he doesn't have it earlier in the episode, so clearly he gets it from somewhere. I guess it's not too bad of a spoiler, but still, it's a little bit of intrigue. I think it's hard to make trailers. You see a lot of movies now, and the trailers have so much of what's important. You're like, why are you showing me all this? Except for Pacific Rim. I don't know if you guys remember when Pacific Rim came out. The trailer for that was like so much stuff, and I was like, oh, well, there's the whole movie. And it turned out like all the stuff they showed in the trailer was like in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And so that was pretty cool. Yep, yeah. Yeah, I know who she is. It's crazy that she does like a lot of interesting work. Hasbro usually spoils stuff by showing their toys early. Yeah, they do. Or they'll put the names of things on there, and you're like, oh, dude, there you go. That's how it works. I think sometimes it's like Lucasfilm approves that packaging, and they don't think about it hard enough or something. There was what's funny is Hasbro had, let's see if I can find it. I'll find a picture of it and I'll share it on the next one. But they did displays, and it had all these they're like black displays, and had these like illustrations of the characters on the sides, and they used a picture of me that was just off the internet. It wasn't like I gave them a photo or they took a picture of me. It was like a picture of me with R2 when I was in my 3PO, and that's the one they used on the graphics for a bunch of their, it's not on the packaging, but it's on like the displays, and they used it a couple times. I've seen it at multiple places, and I thought it was funny, but it's not from the film, and the suit that I'm wearing is my old suit, and it's really inaccurate, so people think it's like an Empire Strikes Back shot, but it's just me from MegaCon Orlando, Florida, with my friend Dan and his R2, and we're basically in this Hoth set, and it's a real easy picture to find. If you look up like Empire Strikes Back C-3PO, it's like R2-D2 and C-3PO and Hoth, and there's like some official real ones from the films, and there's one that's like a hallway, and it's me and my friend Dan, my friend Dan's R2, and you can just tell because the shoulders are like too wide on the 3PO, because it's my old suit, which is inaccurate and horrible. I actually might try to sell it. I have it in my living room right now, and I'm not the whole suit, but I might sell the torso and the arms. I don't know. I'll never wear them again, and they're just here, and I feel like maybe someone else will use them. They're all gold. They're painted and stuff. They're a little bit beat up because they've been used a lot, but they're gold. They're fiberglass. And they look more similar to the ones that are on like Mandalorian that are terrible versus like the good ones from the, from the other shows. Alright, what time are we looking at here? Alright, I got 3 more minutes. And then I'm calling it. I'm going to go be productive. I found this really good drone company in Canada that's doing all FPV drones, and man, they got some freaking cool stuff. But they're flying these giant cinema cameras, but they're like big cinema drones, but flying like FPV style. It's really cool. It looks very expensive, so I gotta figure out like who supplies them, because it's, you know, these cinema drones have like actual big cinema cameras, like a, you know, a red camera with a huge lens, and it's pretty amazing. Alright, controller, you can shut up soon. I'm almost done. Yeah, I'm waiting to see too, like if they come out with any more Skeleton Crew toys, because I feel like they didn't put out very many, and it's kind of a bummer because there's some of them are really cool. I see it. Oh yeah, definitely need to get sponsored, or just get a company where the, you know, like somebody wants me to fly and I'm like, well, this is what I need and it's going to be this much, and then just have them buy it. So technically it's like a sponsorship, but so many, like, it's a lot of like tools that I have, they're more expensive. Not that they're crazy expensive, but they're like a little more pricey. I bought when I had a production where I'm like, I need like my miter saw, which is a pretty nice one. It's not like a cheapo thing. They needed me to make frames for something. I was like, well, I need a miter saw, and I like, how much is that? And I just, and they basically just gave me a bunch of money. So get whatever you need and just bring it to receipt. And so they just gave me like literally like a big pile of cash. I just had to like give them whatever change I had from everything and give them all my receipts, and I just got to keep it. And that's happened with a few things. I got printers that way. I have a lot of random tools where I've been in the middle of something, I just need them, and then production will pay for it, and then I have them still, which is the best way. I feel like that's how cinema drone stuff would work too. Get on there. Ben's product. Hey, how you doing? Just up at 5 a.m. to get a train and decide to pop in. Yeah, dude. Doing alright. 5 a.m. What time is it there? Wow, that's far. Look at this. I'm way out of bounds. Look at this view. I don't even know where I'm at. I like let go. I think I'm underground, flying outside of the map. It's doing pretty good. I'm just about to log off of here and get back to making some ZBrush stuff here for the Patreon. But again, I'm trying to keep my drone practice every 2 days, and I'm a little bit off of schedule because of work stuff. So trying to keep it good. But yeah, anyway, been on for about an hour, and my controller is just chattering at me every 2 seconds. Battery low. So I am gonna call it, but let me get over here. Bing, 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 bong. We'll do this. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Sorry I've been a little bit low key today. If you guys were here, out in the UK so far. It's so far, the UK. That's awesome. You stopped in at early in the morning. It's crazy. It's like, it's only 9:05 right now, so I'm usually up pretty late. So I've got a good 3 hours left to get some stuff done. So I gotta concentrate. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Listen to me tell sappy, sad stories all night and all that stuff. But I'll be back with better energy next time. We'll drink a Red Bull, snort some meth or